win. The highlights go like this. Luka averaging almost 35 a game after a playoff loss. That's the most in NBA history with a minimum of 10 games. And he came out ready to contribute, although here he hits the deck and checking the grill. Then he gets warm from deep. 16 in the quarter, knocked down 4 3-pointers. Also setting up his teammates. There's that corner three I think P.J. Washington was talking about. He would add 3 assists and account for 24 of the Mavericks' 36 first quarter points. Here, late second, Doncic forces the miss, and then as the buzzer sounds, kind of goes down in pain. We know there's the knee issues, got a little blood on the knee. So it's playoffs, man. You're going to get bumped around a little bit. Midway through the third, Kyrie on the bench. With Luka on the bench. Kyrie, there's the kick out to Tim Hardaway Jr. as the Mavs push the lead back out to 8. Then it's Hardaway Jr. gives to Kyrie, right back to Hardaway Jr. All 3 of these make it 4. He had 10 in the third as the Mavericks allowed OKC to come back, take a lead, and then they come roaring back with an answer. What an incredible alley-oop from Doncic to Derrick Jones Jr. Another look at this one. I thought in real time it was a foul. I think Jones' momentum just carried him beyond any contact from Chet Holmgren. Mavericks with the lead. Luka now a little hobble there, a little stumble. But he's good. There's the proof. Mavericks up 8, game that they feel like probably they got to get, right? SGA is going to make it tough. Everything he does looks just beautiful and easy. The Thunder within 5. Doncic with a spin away from Lou Dort. Doncic and the Mavs up 9. He's roaring, and that building is normally on about 11, as we know. There's the Washington dunk, a playoff career high, I believe Katie George said afterwards, with 29, back to 11. And then this is night-night. Let's get right back to Oklahoma City. Tim Hardaway Jr., kind enough to throw on the headset and stop by. 17 points in 19 minutes. You need to play more, Tim. You look like you're ready to roll, huh?
Yeah, just grateful, to have the opportunity. My guys took care of business in the first round, so just taking advantage of every moment I can while I'm out there.
PJ just talked about how Luka and Kyrie absorb so much attention that it frees you guys up, right, to get clean looks. But you got to make them. You all shot it so well tonight, Tim, from 3, and yet here come the Thunder right in the third. They get the lead. What do you guys show yourselves in responding in that venue to let them get ahead and then ultimately end up winning the way you did?
Well, for the most part, everybody knows that played in the playoffs here. It's a loud building. Crowd really gets into it, so we try to do whatever we can to take them out of it. Those young guys feed off of that energy really, really, really well. So just try to do whatever we can to get stops, stay poised through it all, and make sure that when we had the shots to knock it down.
What's funny is the other night in one of the post games, Kyrie was talking about being the old head, right? I mean, he's only 32, but he's seen a lot. Are there lessons, are there moments where he's able to give you a thought, you or your team, a thought, a message, something that you guys seize upon that's particularly valuable, Tim?
Yes, for the most part, we know he's a champion. So right there, it speaks for itself. So made big shots in big-time games, big-time moments. So fortunately for me, his locker is right next to mine, home and away. So, I'm asking him everything, man. I'm, feeding into everything, being a sponge, just like the rest of these guys. And whatever he sees out there, we listen.
This is a really talented but very young team that you're playing against. For them to see a little bit of a knot on their eyebrow, so a little see blood for the first time, so to speak, right? For you to give them that first L, how does that change the way this series proceeds, in your opinion, Tim, as you guys head home?
For the most part, it doesn't change anything. They're the number 1 seed in the West for a reason. So we're going to take their best shot each and every step of the way, and we got to be ready to counter that.
Well, I know Mavericks fans are certainly happy to see you out there, healthy enough to contribute, and you did tonight in a big way. Travel home safely, and good luck Saturday and the rest of the way. All right, I appreciate you stopping by.
Thank you, Scott. I
You
appreciate
got it. Kendrick Perkins, my guy, good to see you for the first time this playoffs. And the chance to visit on this one. I asked Tim Hardaway Jr. just a minute ago about the shooting was great, right? But, man, when you make 10 threes and all of a sudden you're behind, man, you got to be a little bit nervous that you're not going to get out of there with a win, right? The way that building can be on fire. What Dallas show you, Perk, with their ability to find that gear, find solid footing, and get out of there with a victory tonight?
Well, it was all about the leadership, Scott. When you think about Kyrie Irving, we haven't seen him this happy and this much of a leader since Moby Dick was a goldfish. And I'm serious about this, right? He had 11 dimes, but he was the ultimate floor general, right, for us getting guys involved. We talked about Tim Hardaway Jr. You know, he had 17 points tonight. P.J. Washington, 29 points. And guess what? The way that Kyrie Irving was playing, it's contagious because all of a sudden you see Luka having that same trust. And when you're those two guys and you're able to make guys around you better and you're passing the ball with the right type of energy and the right type of life, they're gonna make shots. And so when you think about that duo, we know that Kyrie and Luka could go out there and get 30 apiece. We know that. But when they start to trust others like the way that they're doing, hey, man, they're going to be dangerous, and they are dangerous.
Yeah, I mean, we got this massive monitor here in our studios in D.C. 46 from Washington and Hardaway Jr. That's the story of this night. You get those kind of contributions from those guys, and you're able to get out of that building and give OKC their first loss. They're the one for a reason. They've earned the respect of the league, and they've demonstrated that they're a team that's going to be reckoned with for a long, long time, including this postseason. But, Perk, now they lose. Does that change anything in that locker room, in your opinion?
It does. I mean, because now all of a sudden they got to get that sense of urgency back. And I didn't see that same sense of urgency that I saw in game one, especially on the defensive end, when they were getting into the ball, when they were loading up boxes and elbows, when they were tied together on the string. We're talking about the second youngest team in the league in the Oklahoma City Thunder, and they lack energy for some reason. Look, this is the semifinals in the Western Conference. You're going against Luka and Kyrie. The energy has to be there. It's so many times that that Gafford and Lively had wide open lanes to the rim, and even if they didn't get the pass for the dunk or the layup, it was opening up for the three-point shooting of Tim Hardaway Jr. and P.J. Washington. OKC just got to get it back together, hit the film room, and come back out in Game 3 on the road with that energy and show their athleticism and their youth.
And they got to make shots. I mean, we're looking at the graphic. They only make 10 threes, and Dallas hits 18, so that difference is 24 right there. I'm interested in this, Perk. Was there something you noticed other than the lack of urgency? Was it an emphasis from Dallas's defense, or was it just one of those nights where you're not going to make every open look you get? Is that as simple as that?
Well, no, it's a such thing in the league, Scott, that we used to preach in the locker room. We're going to make them miss and not hope that they miss. And what we saw out of Dallas was we saw them run out and contest shots. Now, is OKC going to make some of them? Yes, they're professional athletes. But the percentages say that they're not going to make majority of them. And we saw the Dallas Mavericks, even Luka, scrambling to get out there and contest shots. And I guarantee you Jason Kidd made that an emphasis in the film room and in shoot-around to make sure that they was contesting those three-point shots of the Oklahoma City Thunder.
You mentioned Coach Kidd. We're standing by to hear from him and get thoughts from the OKC side as well.